very concerned about where the camera is balancing right now. Welcome back to day 3. Welcome back to day 3 of Vlogmas! This is a bit of an escapism video because we're in December in the UK. We've had so many storms, we've had so much snow where we are. It's absolutely minging. I mean, you can see, like, I'm wrapped up, sorry, Win, in my massive coat. The ponies are all wrapped up in their coats, but I tell you who isn't wrapped up in their coats is Horizon Horseback. Now, they are the wonderful sponsor of this video, and that means that they're donating a prize. So, just to fill you in, I'm sure you all know, but Vlogmas is all about giving back to you amazing guys that support me. So there is a mega giveaway running over my Instagram, and it is worth £5,000. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, a big chunk of that money is the prize that Horizon Horseback are giving because it's absolutely epic. So before I tell you about the prize, this video is gonna be journeying back to our time in Africa. We went earlier this year. Oh my word. Please take me back. I've never wanted to be back there more. But I filmed a special little tack up and ride with me video because if you remember, this Vlogmas is a best of Vlogmas. And was it my first Vlogmas or my second one? Oh, I'm testing my Vlogmas knowledge now. Mum and I went and we did a tack up and ride with me over in some like local hills near us. We got lost, it was really foggy, the visibility was terrible, and I thought it'd be funny if we're doing a best of, like this really is the best of, that tack up and ride with me, compared to this one where we're in sunny South Africa. I was on one of my favourite horses of the whole series, Caesar, and I also take you through the tack and stuff, like what it was like to ride out there, because I had so many questions about whether it was comfortable, what the saddles were like. So you get to see all of the behind the scenes and then sit behind Caesar's ears and also just have a little, like, sit and you'll feel like you're in Africa. I'm going to leave some of it just completely raw sound, not do voiceovers, because honestly, I was editing it and I felt so zen and like I was in the happiest place ever because I really was. So, back to the giveaway quickly, then we'll get into it. Talking of the happiest place ever. They are giving away an African Explorer safari. So this is for one person. There are a few T's and C's, so like your flights aren't included and your conservation levy is not included, but your transfer will be. And then once you're with Horizon, you are looked after, like your accommodation, your food, like everything is sorted for you. Now the African Explorers, you get the best of both. So you're gonna have 4 nights in South Africa, which is amazing, like so beautiful, and the places you stay in, like they're actually pretty bougie. You'll have the most delicious food. It's like some of them are honestly sort of Love Island vibes, like they're incredible. Obviously you'll ride every single day, you'll have sundowners, and then you'll spend 3 days in Botswana, which is the adventure of a lifetime. You'll still stay in really cool places, but it's much more rustic. Like you'll be staying under the stars, you'll be staying in tree camp, things like that. Like the accommodation is so cool. Again, the food is absolutely delicious and you get to explore across the African plains. I cannot recommend it enough. It was seriously the best like holiday experience I've had in my entire life. It was truly fantastic, and the Horizon team are just amazing. They take such brilliant care of their horses. The whole operation is just, it's like, it's faultless. You will have the best time. So I will leave the link down to the giveaway in the description. Make sure you go and enter that. I'm not being funny. If I were you, I'd be finding a mate and just absolutely spamming it, because every single comment, like every tagged comment, counts as an entry. And then just make a little deal with your mate that if you win, then you split the cost of another safari so that you can both go and have the best time ever. Right, enough from me. I'm so freezing cold, so I need to go inside. But let me take you back to a time when I was not freezing cold and I was riding in a Vestop. One of the most common questions I've been asked since arriving in Africa is what are the saddles like? So I'm here in South Africa with Horizon Horseback,
and we're going to do a tack up and ride with me. It's about 6:45 at the moment. We're heading back to our original lodge to actually change our horses. So this is going to be quite a short ride, but you guys will be able to see all of the tack and see what it's like to sit behind the gorgeous Caesar's Ears, who is actually one of my favourite horses. He's a 5-year-old biped. So let's go tack him up. He's just having his breakfast. Got the lovely Anna here from Horizon Horseback, who is going to be helping us tack up Caesar because I'm very unqualified. Over to you, Anna.
No worries. Okay, so as our horses are eating, we brush them and we do check the temperatures on each of the horses that we're riding. That's because we do have African horse sickness and it's very, very dangerous here. Okay. So all the horses are getting a proper health check before we actually do tack them up.
Love that.
And then we do have our sweat pads. We just use to get all the sweat off the horses. And then our numbness.
They're so big and fluffy.
They are very nice and fluffy. It's very nice for the horses and for the riders. Our saddles are trail saddles, which is very comfortable for very long rides. It's like a mix of dressage and western. Each of the saddle for the guests has got their own saddlebag and their own water bottle. So make sure that everyone is comfortable on the rides.
God, these are really so. It's like wool under there or something.
Yeah.
Wow. They're very flexy, aren't they?
They are very flexible. They basically fit on each of the horse.
Right.
So if you come to Horizon, you will get your own saddle, which you will keep for your entire stay. And then we are just switching the horse all the time.
The way we identified my saddle this morning was the fact that I had a half-eaten granola bar in there. Classic. And the string girths, so they...
Yes, so we have leather girths and we do have string girths. And on Caesar we are using a string girth. And then the saddle is basically kind of like in the Western style. You got this back string which is holding the saddle a bit down. And then you got this one which is normally just tightening the saddle.
Yeah.
They are not tight like the English saddles. So we want to have a hand down, which sometimes terrifies the guests. Like, oh, it's very loose.
I realised that. I was like, oh, Laura, can you just do my girth up? Because they're quite hard to get to grips with. And she was like, no, that's fine. I was like, okay.
Also, especially when they're now just stand and they just eat. So we just want to have it quite loose. And then we just readjust everything. And that's actually already it. That's how we tackle the horses here.
That's a lot faster than I'd have done it. So they'll have their bridles on just before we head out?
Yes, so they will get some lucerne and some hay until we are ready. So they can snack on a bit. And then just before we go on a ride, we will put the bridles on.
God. It's their little tails up in the air. It's so funny. On board lovely Caesar. Obviously you guys haven't seen his bridle yet, but all the horses have slightly different bridles. Some of them have got nosebands, some haven't. I don't think I've seen a horse out of a snaffle so far. Everyone seems to be in a snaffle. Got my two-tone reins. So we've then got the saddle, which a lot of people have been asking whether they're comfortable, because obviously some of the rides can be up to 6 hours long. We might spend a little bit longer somewhere if we find some really cool animals. So you definitely need saddles that are going to be comfortable to ride in all day. So stirrups are slightly longer than we'd have at home. A couple of us English riders have popped them up a little bit more than the guides. We've then got our nice fluffy seat saver, give us a little bit more cushion for our bottoms. Obviously got our water, got our saddle bags, we've got a bum bag if you want to have as well. And then the pommels here, so much higher than what we're used to. But I've found like you can ride really easily kind of one-handed. It's very relaxed. Oh God, sorry darling. Caesar says, oh, a little comfort break before we get out. But yeah, you can kind of hold onto these and ride along. But they're super comfortable. I've not felt at all kind of sore or anything like that. They've been very, very, very nice to sit in all day long. And obviously the horses are absolutely fabulous as well. They're very comfortable and lovely, aren't you, Caesar boy? Right, I'm gonna switch to my GoPro and take you guys off to hopefully find some hippo.
Good boy.
All tacked up, and so the last thing to do is to get on out there into the bush. So I promise I am going to leave some of this completely voiceover free, just so you can experience the sounds of Africa and the hooves, because it is so amazing and just the most zen thing ever. But I wanted to talk through a little bit, because I've not shown any of this kind of more chilled behind the scenes footage of the trip. And I just love it. I think it's so interesting, and you get a much better idea of what it was actually like in between all of those amazing shots that you've seen in the other videos. So as you can imagine, the terrain changed so much day to day. Oh, little hole. I'll talk about those in a second. Obviously we're covering such vast distances, so sometimes you'll be in like these really wide open grassy plains, other times you're in these like thickety areas like this, then you'll be in rocky bits. So it was amazing. Like every single ride was different, which I absolutely loved. So the holes, now this was something that only really happened in South Africa. Did you spot that one there? Left hand side of the screen, there was an animal which now I cannot remember what it was, but basically goes around and makes all of these crazy massive holes. I think it was digging for some kind of food. So you really had to be careful when you were riding. I mean, the horses were amazing at like actually looking down and trying to see them, and they'd avoid the majority of them. But if we were in an area where they were going to be quite bad, like we're completely off the beaten track here, we'd go single file, like you can see, and we'd all just shout to each other. So as soon as you saw one, you'd be like, hole on the left, and you just make sure that you avoid them, basically. So these tracky bits, like you're not getting any holes here, so we could have a little trot and canter to catch up. And then we saw some other destruction from another animal.
These are bush pigs.
Bush pigs?
Yeah.
Wow. Getting the roots and the pops.
And the what?
Roots and the pops.
Oh.
Yeah.
God, they've made a right mess.
Yeah, and then they only get active at night.
We're looking for the stock roots of these trees here. And you can just see how powerful these animals are. They're just like, you know,
Good boy.
like stickers coming. Dig the place up.
Have a little snacky.
Sorry, there's a little nature stop.
Yeah. Thanks, Attenborough.
Then bush pigs be hella crafty, but they're not the things that make the other holes. I can't believe I've forgotten what it is. Anyway, another thing is, before I went out on this trip, for some reason in my head, I was like, oh, okay, like they must just have these set packages where you do the exact same rides. Like every guest will do the exact same ride week in, week out. Oh, how wrong I was. Like obviously we're going to the same points, like point A to point B, but you never know what way you're going to go, and it's like it really changes as to whether you're following animal tracks or like you're specifically wanting to find a certain animal, so you might go a different way where that animal's more likely to hang out. And I really love that, because even the guides, like obviously they know where they are, but you still feel like you're always exploring and you don't actually know like what's going to come up. So that was something that I found super exciting about these rides. So obviously going for a little trilly trot now. One thing that I thought was so good whilst we were out there was how seriously they take the horses, like fitness and just their welfare when it comes to doing these long rides. Oh, these rocky areas. I mean, this is probably 1% of the stuff we saw and went down. Like that's literally nothing. But they're so good, these horses. But yeah, they were really conscious to make sure, firstly, that they had long walking warm-ups, and secondly, that we weren't just constantly cantering them. Like the horses always had times to catch their breath. We'd do long walking bits. As you can see, you like kind of have to walk down these rocks. And then we'd have our nice canters. But yeah, it was a real variety of all the paces, which I was really pleased about. I think like one thing I can say about Horizon overall is just the horse welfare comes above anything else. And as an absolute horse lover, for me, that's so important when I'm doing these like equestrian adventures. Like I have to feel happy that the horses are happy.
Get out the rocks.
Anyway, I'm going to stop wittering on, and we are going to have some pure, unadulterated Caesar ASMR. Good?
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
Good to go.
Good boy. Good lad. He's good. Oh. Hey. Woo. Good boy. Yeah. Nice pipe opener in the morning. It's so hard to know where the GoPro's pointing, so I have to like get in a canter position and then try and take a photo.
You guys see the fish eagle?
The eagle?
You come look, just there by where the little water bed is.
Oh wow.
You see it?
Okay, I thought I saw it, maybe I don't.
Like there's a dead tree. Look at the dead tree. This
Right, okay. Oh god, yeah.
Come on, Megan.
Oh my god, I was literally like staring point blank at it and was like, no, it's not that. Wow, he's got a little white head. That's a bald eagle.
Fish
Yeah,
eagle.
they are.
Fish eagle.
They like the bald eagle.
Ah.
What are we doing?
We're swimming from this side of the lake to the other.
Perfect.
Yeah. Signature lodge here, guys. Signature lodge. Oh. Good boy. What a lad. Good lad. Yeah, boy. Lost our guide. Oh, look at all these horses. Caesar, I absolutely love you. You are my favourite, even though I shouldn't have favourites. Oh,
I'll jump off Maddie and just give her a breather for a minute.
what a boy. Just loosen your girth up.
You can loosen that completely, but I've got to take it off and put it on this horse.
Oh, do you want me to take it off completely? Cool. Do you know where Peter is? Ah, there he is.
They were just filming, so they're coming up.
Aha. Yep.
And I'm gonna whip the saddle straight over.
Oh, is this my next ride?
Yeah.
Is this Dakar?
Yeah.
Ah, hey buddy.
Oh, hang on. She's going to go and do the road.
No, Simon is. Meg likes the days.
Okay.
So this, sadly, is where I have to say goodbye to Caesar, who I'm absolutely obsessed with.
But then she gets to ride.
Dakar. Yeah, who Simon rode the first
She's
day.
going to give you some instructions.
Yeah, would you mind?
Don't mess with him.
I think I might have found my favourite as early as day 2.
Don't speak too soon.
I know, I really,
He's very pretty.
I love him, and he's just the nicest person, and he's helped me out so much. And he's so clever, and he says I'm fast and I move beautifully and I'm so handsome. So, but we do have to part ways because you are going to go out with all your buddies and I think have a couple of days off now because he's only a little baby. So you get to go and regenerate, don't you? One thing I didn't mention about the Tack, which is different to ours, is our little like strap on our reins.
Little eating strap.
A little eating strap, yeah, that's exactly what it is. So the horses, as I've mentioned in other videos, when we stop and watch the animals, they're allowed to just snack. It keeps them calm, keeps them eating if they're out for many, many hours. And we've got a little rein extender, which means you can just hold that in your fingers so you're not like
have a little munch.
leaning forward. Yeah, it's great. I would introduce it at home, but mine would take full advantage. Imagine Winnie just like, raw.
Winnie would love that.
Winnie's
need to
literally the. Wow.
I need to add
some
to the belly.
real shade at Winnie there. Oh wow, look at me with my little greys. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this very short tack up and ride with me. Say bye to Caesar and hello to Dakar for the next video. Live, laugh, love you guys. Bye.